So for this first play, we're looking at the interception by Earl Thomas early in the game. This is a welcome to Earl Thomas that will remind you a lot of Ed Reed. He's right here at the bottom of the formation. This is a cover 2 look, but it's a bluff. This linebacker is going to blitz, and this safety is going to drop down and guard some middle zones. Earl Thomas has the whole deep half of the field, and he makes up so much ground here. He starts on the left side of the formation when you're viewing it from the quarterback's perspective, and he's just going to sprint all the way across the field. And it's like you can almost see his head. He's looking at the quarterback, but he's got so much like drive to where he's going. Like he instantly believes that he's going to the exact right position. He's clearing the whole side of the field, and he picks up this receiver right here. I'm not sure if this is a receiver or a tight end, but he picks them up, and then he just breaks on the ball. And he cuts in front of the other receiver, who is actually kind of open. But Earl Thomas is too quick with his decision making, and he leaves his man and just cuts right in front of the ball to make the first interception of the year. And good Lord, does it remind you of Ed Reed. He just covers so much ground. He's so fast, and he has such good instincts that he's just going to break on the ball, and he makes a great interception to start the season. And boy, this defense is going to be something to be reckoned with. Here it is on broadcast.
Last year, but at right guard, of course, Laramie Tunsil traded last week to the Houston Texans. Second and 6. Pressure coming. Fitzpatrick steps up, throws on the run, and it's picked off. Guess who? Earl Thomas. Welcome to Baltimore, and he's not down yet. Thomas cuts it back at midfield and spun down. Earl Thomas in 4 games against Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So here's the second play. Nothing really super special about this play except the fact that Hollywood Brown is freaking ridiculous. So this is just a simple, I'm not sure if this is an RPO or not, because the Ravens run so many that you can't really tell, but Hayden Hurst is coming across the formation. He gives the obvious man coverage look, which I'm assuming Lamar Jackson is seeing in his head and making the decision that he's going to look for Hollywood Brown to beat this one-on-one coverage immediately. There's only one safety deep, so usually that means you have man coverage across the board instead of a zone look. And obviously the man running across the formation with Hayden Hurst in the motion just screams man coverage, because if it wasn't man, the formation would kind of shift down to the bottom. So Lamar Jackson's going to do the RPO or the play action, whichever one it is. Mark Ingram's going to come across and pretend like he has the ball. And immediately, this is not good by the Miami Dolphins. This is the play after the interception, so it's not like there was a run established on this drive, but there was run established previously in the game, obviously, with Mark Ingram having that big run earlier. But if you look at the DBs and the linebackers, this safety, you're the safety. You're the last line of defense. Like, you have to stay back here. But instead, he looks at the run and commits to it. This linebacker commits to the run. This corner commits to the run immediately. This is such a good play action. It fooled everyone. And then look, this linebacker is just like immediately knows that he screwed up, and he's trying to run back. Lamar steps up in the pocket. There's literally no one here because the run bluff was so good that it has the whole defense out on the right side guarding this. It's literally just the left tackle and one guy over here. Lamar just has to throw a dot right here to Hollywood, and oh my gosh, is he fast. Hollywood breaks one tackle, and he's just gone to the races. We all know the rest. Really a simple play, but I mean, anyone was open on this. It's only a 2-man route. Everyone else is play action bluffing. And we have one receiver here, wide open. All you have to do is hit him. He hit him in a perfect spot, right where only he could get it. It's a really great throw by Lamar, and Hollywood just takes off. First catch, first touchdown, more to come. Here it is.
Beautiful day in Miami Gardens and a great start to the season for the Baltimore Ravens. Ryan Fitzpatrick picked off his 8th different team he's thrown an interception for, and Earl Thomas setting up the Ravens with great field possession, 1st and 10 from the Miami 47-yard line. Jackson over the middle, caught by Hollywood Brown. See you later, Hollywood to the house. There is a flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
So here's the next play we're going to take a look at. And surprise, surprise, it's Hollywood Brown again. This play is actually set up to look like it's going to be a run. It's actually kind of strange if you're the defense, because it's a heavy formation on this side. There's two tight ends over here. I believe this is Mark Andrews and maybe Hayden Hurst. But Ingram is on the right side of the quarterback, which is weird. If they were going to run it, I would assume he would be on the left side and it would be a run this way. But instead, Ingram's on the other side. It's a straight pass, no play action, nothing. But these guys are all biting run immediately. Look at how they're creeping up. They see the tight ends and they're all creeping up, and they already screwed themselves with that. They're getting so little leverage because of the fact that they're all so close up to the ball. Like, they've already lost at this point. And hopefully Lamar saw that, and that's why he just only stared down Hollywood this whole play. Mark Ingram's going to have the wheel route. He's not really an option. We're going to have, I believe this is Boykin at the top. He's going to run a little in route. We're going to have an in route by Mark Andrews, and Hollywood's just going to fly by Minkah Fitzpatrick here, who's going to get his hands on him, but there's not much he can do at this point. He gets his hands on Hollywood, and Lamar just puts an absolutely perfect throw. Look at this. Like, literally, the contact he makes right around the 30-yard line, he loses. He loses. Like, unless you're laying Hollywood out here, you're not going to win this battle. It makes no sense to put your hands on him. He's already lost, and he knows it. Hollywood's gone immediately. Like, a split second after the contact, he already has 5 yards on Minkah Fitzpatrick. And Lamar doesn't even step into the throw, shows off his ridiculous arm strength, and just throws it on a dime about, let's see, that's about, what, 60 yards downfield on a dot, and you're not catching Hollywood Brown. Once again, we've seen how that goes. Let's watch it.
Jackson put on 10 pounds of muscle in the offseason. He said he knows he's got to be able to play 16 games for the Ravens this year, and then, as he said, hopefully more into the playoffs. 3rd down and 3. Jackson has all day. Looking deep for Hollywood Brown again. He's got it. Brown off to the races. And he stays on his feet. Touchdown. 83 yards.
So on this 4th play, I feel like it shows a lot of how Lamar's mind has changed. His mindset has changed this year. He's throwing a lot more deep balls. We've only seen him for one game, but he's throwing the deep ball. Like, he wants it all a lot of the time. And when you have arm strength like him, you kind of have to. So this is just a simple play. The wide receivers both out wide. This one and this one are both going to run comeback routes. Mark Andrews is going to run a simple out route, and Willie Snead and Justice Hill are going to blow up the seams, and they have man coverage on these two DBs. I feel like last year, Lamar would probably have just thrown this to Mark Andrews. He's open immediately. I feel like Lamar last year was going down up. He was looking at his closer routes and then his farther routes, which is not how most people would recommend looking at your reads. But here he's clearly waiting for the deep ball. And the funny thing is, he actually has Justice Hill or Snead. Both of them are going to get this touchdown if he throws it, because this is a linebacker. He's not staying out with Justice Hill if Lamar floats it out in front of him. And Willie Snead immediately wins on his route up here after the defensive back is completely facing the wrong way. You can see right now, at this point, he's already lost the battle. Snead's going inside. His hips are pointing outside. It's over. And Snead just walks right by him. Lamar puts another dot on the dot to Willie Snead for another easy touchdown. Again, this Dolphins team isn't the greatest. We all know that, but Lamar Jackson really showed how he's progressed as a quarterback in this first game, and hopefully there's a lot more to come.
Andrew, James, and Jay.
All right, guys, thank you. Next week, the Jaguars will be in Houston to take on the Texans. Our crew will be there for that game. We'll have to see who the quarterback will be for the Jaguars on 2nd and 8. Lamar Jackson looking end zone again. Snead's got it. 6 more for the Ravens.
So for this last play, we're going to do the fake punt. John Harbaugh, special teams genius. We all know he loves to run fakes all the time. Ran them in the Super Bowl, wins them in the playoffs. Doesn't matter. Up 30 points in the second quarter of a blowout game. Doesn't matter. He's going to run it. So this one is just a simple in. It's a simple right up the middle fake, and it's going to go to Anthony Levine Sr. right here. And the funny thing is, this isn't the look you want. The punt block, it will usually be like this, where everyone's stacked in the middle, but sometimes there will be more linebackers in the middle, and they're playing kind of safe, expecting a fake. That's kind of the time you want to run the run fake, because the linebackers are back a little further, and you don't have as many people on the line. But John Harbaugh trusts his special teams, and the blocking on this was incredible, because as you can see, Levine just gets right up in the middle, and he almost like braces himself, expecting for a bunch of trouble to be there. He's expecting to break some tackles, but there's no one there, and he's gone. That's the thing about punt fakes. There's no safety. All you have is the return guy. So you have to beat one layer of players, and if you can do that, it's going to be a lot of yards, as you can see. And John Harbaugh trusted that his line can do that, and it worked literally to perfection. Could not have been any better. And as you can see here, this is a better viewpoint. They didn't even the hole wasn't set up correctly. I feel like you can watch it and you can see there's no hole being created. Like, all the players, all these three line right here are all going this way, just towards the ball. You would think that like these two would push the lineman out this way instead to create a hole, but they're all going the same direction, and Levine just parts ways. Like, it all just works out perfectly. If number 22 right here was able to get through this hole, it might not have worked, or it wouldn't have been a 60 yards for sure, but it might not have worked as well. And 22, if you watch him, he has no idea where the ball is. Look at him. He's just tackling people. And then all of a sudden, he looks up, and Anthony Levine is running. Oh, man, and he should have beat Jeremy Grant here. But this is just John Harbaugh being John Harbaugh. And it's a great play call, great design, and it just worked literally to perfection. That hole, it's just amazing how that one showed up on the film.
Maybe Andrews doesn't have to go down for that ball to the ground. Maybe he can catch it, but it's below his belt buckle, so he tries to go down to make sure he catches it.
And it's a fake. It's Levine off to the races. Levine, one man to beat. And Jakeem Grant's able to drag him down. Wow. Up 35-3, and the Ravens will have it all the way down by the 10-yard line.